And you see, most people lose weight and then they regain the weight because they don't have any guardrails set up. They don't have a process set up to catch themselves when you're slipping. Otherwise, you'll find yourself saying, oh, the weight just crept up on me. Hey there, I'm Dr. Del Millers, and this is Energize Your Life After 50. You see, the goal of this podcast is to help you answer one simple question, and that is, how do you want to live the next chapter in your life? Do you want to keep it as it is, or do you want more? Do you want to be better, fitter, stronger, healthier without meds, more confidence, more sex appeal? Do you want to get your mojo back? Maybe you want to be the you've always thought you could be. So each week we'll look at simple ways to intentionally create your next chapter, prioritizing your health, your physicality, your emotional and spiritual well-being, as well as looking and feeling your best. Are you up for the challenge? Then let's get moving. All right, welcome back, everybody. Dr. Del Millers here with personalfitness.com. This is Energize Your Life After 50. Hope you're doing great out there. Last time we began the conversation on the 3 pillars of my new weight loss program, Weight Loss Made Easy. It's a group coaching program. And last time we talked about why it's important to focus on why you eat and not just what you eat. That was the first pillar. The second pillar we're going to talk about today is why it's important to create non-negotiable habits to guarantee your success, and guardrail habits to catch yourself when you're slipping. You see, non-negotiable habits guarantee your success because those are the habits of your future self. Those are the habits that you are adopting. You are, striving to grow into those habits of your future self because that's what it takes to be successful. And you see, most people lose weight and then they regain the weight because they don't have any guardrails set up. They don't have a process set up to catch themselves when you're slipping. Otherwise, you'll find yourself saying, oh, the weight just crept up on me. I regained the first 10 pounds and then it was 20 and 20 became 40 and 40 became 100. Guys, there is no freaking way that 100 pounds crept up on you. You just weren't paying attention. You lost your focus. You didn't have any guardrails set up to catch yourself when you were slipping. And you've been slipping for a long time and you didn't catch yourself. So I teach my clients to set up guardrails in order to catch themselves when they are slipping. So today, like I said, we're going to talk about why it's important to create those non-negotiable habits. And non-negotiable habits are, by definition, non-negotiable. They are the things you're going to do regardless. You're going to arrange your lifestyle and your days around those non-negotiable habits. Because they are non-negotiable, they're that crucial to your success. You've got to have things that you're doing every day that are taking you closer to your goals. Otherwise, you'll just never get there, okay? And next time, we'll talk about the third pillar of my Weight Loss Made Easy program, which is lose weight the way you want to live your life. Don't do anything to lose weight that you're not planning on maintaining for the rest of your life. That's the third pillar we'll talk about next time. So as we continue here today, I want you to be thinking to yourself, what non-negotiable habits can you set up in your life, or what habits do you have on a daily basis that are non-negotiable? But before we get started, I'd like to take this time to remind you of a few important resources that are available to you. Number one, my free masterclass. The top 3 things you must do to lose weight and keep it off. Okay, if you're struggling with weight as an issue, then you must check out that masterclass. There's also my webinar, Get Your Sexy Back. If you're ready to truly transform your body and your life, then please sign up for the webinar. It's free. You also have access to a free health strategy call with me when you're ready to move forward in a powerful way. I also have a vault of coaching videos at my website, personalfitness.com. You can find all of that, sign up for all of that at my website, personalfitness.com. And lastly, please consider subscribing to this podcast. There is a link in the episode notes. And thank you. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you. So today we're going to talk about why it's important to lose weight the way you want to live. Right? Why it's important for you not to do anything to lose weight that you're not planning on doing the rest of your life. We've talked about in the other videos, we've talked about, if you're watching the videos, if you're listening to the podcast, where last time we also talked about the very first one of the Weight Loss Made Easy series that we discussed was why you should focus on why you eat and not just what you eat. That was the first pillar of the Weight Loss Made Easy program, right? The first principle around which I created this program, right? Why it's important to focus on why you eat, not just what you eat. And that's important because, habits are created in your brain. Your brain is in charge of your habits. So why you eat, is really what controls your habits. That's what we need to focus on, not what we eat. Most people focus on what they eat. So it's important. And we talked about that in the first video, or if you're listening to the podcast, the first session on the Weight Loss Made Easy program. Next, we talked about the importance of creating non-negotiable and guardrail habits, right? Your non-negotiable habits are the habits of your future self. And these are non-negotiables. These are things that you do every day. You're going to do them every day, no matter what. Right? They're non-negotiable. That's what non-negotiable habits are. And we talk about the importance of those. These are the habits of your future self, right? And the fact that you're working on becoming your best self. You're working on the habits of your future self because your future self is your best self. So instead of diets where you deprive yourself and then you beat yourself up when you fail and then you quit again and again and again, here you tend to be more motivated to continue what you're doing because you are getting better every day. You are getting 1% better every day. You're practicing self-compassion. You're practicing positive self-talk. You're focusing on your small wins. You are focusing on the things that you're doing right on a daily basis, as opposed to focusing on what's not going well, what's going wrong. And guardrail habits are those habits that prevent you from slipping, right? People gain weight and they lose weight and then they regain it because they don't have guardrail set up. You've got to have some guardrails set up to catch yourself when you're slipping so that you catch yourself before you regain the first 5 pounds. If you don't, then that 5 becomes 10. Hey, guess what? It's too late. That 10 becomes 20, 20 becomes 40, 40 becomes 80. And before you know it, you've regained all the weight you've lost and more. Not good. It's because you don't have guardrails set up. Right? Guardrail habits are habits that help us deal with our urges and our cravings. Because just because you're working on yourself doesn't mean that you're not going to get them. You're still going to have to work your process. You're still going to have the same issues are going to come up for you. You're just now more aware of them, and now you have some tools to dealing with them. Instead of eating, you have some positive coping mechanisms. Instead of using food, you learn to feel your feelings. You learn to deal with what's showing up. That is the difference when you start working on creating your best self, right? And those are guardrail habits. You learn how to deal with the plateaus because the plateaus will show up. You're going to lose weight, then you're going to plateau. And usually it's not the plateau that kills, it's the negative self-talk. It's the stinking thinking that you get into that drive you down that path to eat, to deal with the feelings. So we learn how to deal with the plateaus, right? We learn how to deal with all of these things. We learn how to prevent ourselves from regaining the weight when we lose it by adopting some simple habits. These are the things that when you start to practice these kinds of habits, non-negotiable habits and guardrail habits, you will lose the weight and you will keep it off over the long term. Very important. So today, let's focus on why it's important to lose weight the way you want to live. I encourage my clients, I tell them, don't do anything to lose weight that you're not planning on doing the rest of your life because you will gain the weight back. Guaranteed you will gain the weight back, because the minute you deviate and you start eating the way you used to eat before you went on your diet, you will gain the weight back. So just forget about dieting. When a client starts with me, I tell them, forget about weight loss. Just forget about weight loss for right now. Let's figure out, why is this important to you? Who are you becoming, and why is it important to you? What is that future self that you're trying to create? What is that future self alter ego? Who are you becoming? Why? Why is it important to you? Who are you in the future that you're not now? What you're going to have that you don't have now? How are you going to feel that you don't feel now? These are the things that are important. And you focus on these things, and that gives you some momentum, because now you're in a positive frame of mind. And when you're in a positive frame of mind, now you can recruit your brain to help you along, to develop some good habits. You're not going to get results by constantly being in a negative frame of mind, because your brain is always working against you. Your hormones are always working against you. So your brain and biology are working against you. You're not going to be successful in the long term. Whatever results you get, you're probably going to lose them over time. Okay? So here are top 3 reasons why to lose weight the way you want to live is the important thing for you to do. The number 1 reason why you want to do this is, guess what? Dieting sucks. I mean, plain and simple, folks. You know it. It's the truth. Dieting sucks, right? Don't you agree? Of course it does. You know, you're miserable all the time. You think about food all the time, almost always. Diets end in failure, and failure leads to the inevitable beatdown, and inevitably you quit again and again and again, because you're tired of failing. You're tired of beating yourself up. Who wants to continue? Who wants to listen to that negative self-talk every day when you can't maintain some diet plan over the long term because you're starving, you're hungry, you're miserable? Dieting just sucks, right? So that's why you don't want to lose weight with a diet. Yet you keep doing it because you don't know any better. Until now. Now you know better, because I'm teaching you better. And this is what I teach my clients. I teach you better. I'm teaching you what I teach my clients. These are the 3 principles, the 3 pillars that I teach my clients. Everything I do with my clients is built around these 3 pillars, these 3 principles, right? So you no longer have to diet to lose weight, because now you know better. You know dieting sucks. You know it ultimately leads to failure. And you know it ultimately leads to you just not being happy, and thereby not recruiting your brain to help you. And having your brain and your hormones working against you, you're not going to be successful doing that. The second reason why dieting sucks is you will gain the weight back and more. You will, guaranteed, 99.9% of the time, you will gain the weight back and more. And why is this the case? This is the case, my friends, because as I have said repeatedly, your habits are created in your brain. Your brain is in charge of your habits. So, if you're miserable and if you're not having any fun doing what you're doing, and if you're doing things that you can't maintain, you're ultimately going to gain the weight back. But here's the most important reason why you gain the weight back. Are you ready for this? Energy intake and energy expenditure is the most highly regulated process in your body. Energy intake, that means food intake and food expenditure, is the most highly regulated process in your body. And this is controlled by your brain and involves every bloody system in your body. Because guess what? Every cell in your body needs energy. It needs food. It can't function unless it gets energy. So energy, folks, energy is life. Every living thing requires energy. And energy is the most regulated thing ever. Think about your life. Right? What is more important than energy? Without energy, you wouldn't have lights. We wouldn't have the modern life that we do. We'd be living in cages. Well, not cages, I mean caves. Maybe cages. But you see, energy intake and expenditure is so highly regulated, and we think that we can fool the brain. You can't fool the brain. Your brain is in charge of all of this. And there are so many different hormones associated with weight loss and weight gain. Not to mention, stress, all the external factors that lead to your body releasing different hormones. This is such a tightly regulated process in your body. That is a very difficult process. And if you don't know what you're doing, if you're trying to lose weight with dieting, you're just working against yourself, folks. Why? Because whenever you try to lose weight with dieting, your brain is working against you. Because your brain doesn't want to lose weight. It's a lot of energy. So it's going to slow down your metabolism. It's going to increase your hunger hormones. It's going to decrease your fullness hormone. This is what happens when you lose a lot of weight too fast. So when you go on a diet to lose weight and you lose 20, 30, 40 pounds in a short period of time, this is what's happening. Okay, your brain is working against you to force you to put the weight back on. So I want you to think about this, right? You lost 20 pounds in a month or 2 months. That equates to about 10,000 grams of fat that you just lost. 10,000 grams. That's about 90,000 calories. Folks, is that a lot or that's a boatload of calories. That's a boatload of energy. You see calories, your body sees energy. That's a boatload of energy. Now think about this. You just lost 90,000 calories. Do you think that alarm bells are going to go off in your body? You bloody well better believe that. Your brain there are alarm bells going off all over. And the way I want you to think about this, in imagine that you just lost 50% of all your investments, your financial investments overnight. You woke up and 50% of your investments are gone. 50% of your bank account is gone. Wouldn't you be alarmed? Wouldn't you be in panic? Wouldn't you be in a crisis? This is what's going on in your body. Your body is in a crisis. You lose weight fast and your body's in a crisis. Your brain is taking over. It's shutting everything down. It's like, let's put the kibosh in all this. Let's put a stopper on all this. And let's figure out how to get all this back. Let's figure out how to gain all this weight back. That's why you see on these programs like The Biggest Loser, when they go from 200, almost 300 pounds, and lose half their body weight. Think about it. You go from 118 pounds, as one contestant did. You from 268 down to, you lost 118 pounds, down to 144. That's 54,000 grams of fat that your body is giving up. That's almost 500,000 calories that your body is giving up on a short period of time, over the course of a few months. 500,000 calories. Are you kidding me? Don't you think that there are alarm bells going on in your brain? That your brain is going to just put a stopper in all this and force you it's going to do everything in its power to force you to gain the weight back. Guaranteed. This is a reason why you gain the weight back when you lose it on a diet. Because your brain is forcing you to gain the weight back because it's losing a lot of energy. And energy is precious. Calories are precious. Energy is precious to your body. Energy is highly regulated and your body doesn't like to lose it. So when you lose a lot of it fast, it's going to force you to get it back. Because it's thinking starvation, baby. And your body doesn't like starvation because starvation means death. And your body wants to live. Every cell in your body wants to live. When you go out in the desert and you see that little plant pushing up out of the ground where there's nothing else that's living around, that is life trying to find a way. Life wants to live. Life has to find a way. Life wants to find a way. Your body doesn't want to die, so it's going to find a way. You're losing a lot of weight, a lot of calories, getting rid of a lot of energy. Your body thinks you're dying. It doesn't want to die. It's going to do everything in its power to prevent that. Here's a third reason why you don't want to do anything to lose weight that you don't plan on maintaining for the rest of life. The more you diet, the more likely you are to be overweight or obese. Guaranteed. There's tons of research on this. That the more you diet, and think about this, most of my clients are women in their 50s and beyond. And most women have started dieting in their teen years. So think about all the diets you've been on over the years, throughout your teens, your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, all the diets you've been on. That just screws up your body. Right? Your body is no longer working for you because guess what? you've lost a lot of muscle. You're speeding up the aging process. Your hormones are now all out of whack from dieting all of these years. You see, one of the big problems that people have who've been dieted a lot, they've got leptin resistance. So you eat and you eat and you eat, and you might be full, but your brain doesn't get the signal that you're full because you have leptin resistance. Your brain doesn't get the signal. So that's why you can eat and eat and eat and your brain doesn't ever get the signal. So we need to work on balancing these hormones again, right? I told you before, every time you go on a diet, your brain slows your metabolism down to force you to gain the weight back. These are all important reasons why you do not want to diet for weight loss. You don't want to do anything to lose weight that you don't plan on maintaining for the rest of your life. Instead, folks, what you want to do instead of diet and exercise, you want to focus on creating the best version of yourself. Just focus on creating the best version of yourself, because you see, to successfully lose the weight and keep it off, you want to keep it off, you must start adopting the habits and mindset of your future self. And like I said in the last, in our last session, the last video, or the last podcast, what is more motivating? Depriving yourself of the things you love to eat, then beating yourself up when you slip up, because you will, and then quitting again and again and again, thereby just regaining the weight over and over again, right? Or working on creating your best self. Practicing self-compassion, practicing positive self-talk, practicing becoming 1% better every day, focusing on what you're doing well instead of what's going wrong, learning to celebrate your small wins. Isn't that more motivating? Isn't that going to take you to where you're going better, and you're going to enjoy the process? And what happens when you enjoy the process? You're recruiting your brain, because your brain is reward focused, right? Your brain is reward focused. And when you recruit your brain, it's easier for you to change your biology. So you see, my friends, to be successful over the long term, you must recruit your brain to change your biology. And one way to do that is to enjoy the process, enjoy the things you're doing. You've got to build it. You got to have some built-in enjoyment. You've got to have some built-in pleasure. It can't be about deprivation. Why? Because your habits are created in your brain, folks. We talk about this in the first video, or the first session, one of our past podcast session. Your habits are created in your brain. So to recruit your brain and have your brain work against you, you have to build in some rewards, because your brain is reward driven. Your brain is reward driven, so you have to have some built-in rewards there. You have to be going after things that you enjoy. You have to have some excitement in there, right? To recruit your brain, there has to be some excitement. There has to be some pleasure. There has to be some joy. It can't be deprivation and misery and pain. That doesn't work over the long term, okay? So these are very important things to keep in mind. Let's just review what we've talked about so far in the 3 videos, or in our 3 sessions on this Weight Loss Made Easy program. We talk about the fact that you need to focus on why you eat, not just what you eat, because again, I just told you, your habits are created in your brain, and your brain controls your habits, because your thoughts control your feelings, and your feelings control what you do. So you focus on why you eat, not just what you eat. You focus on creating non-negotiable and guardrail habits. Very important, because these are the habits of your future self. Non-negotiable habits are the habits of your future self. And guardrails prevent you from slipping backwards, right? Guardrails prevent you from moving forward, from keeping the results you get, and prevent you from slipping. You learn to catch yourself when you're slipping. Today, we just talked about the fact that you want to lose weight the way you want to live. You don't do anything to lose weight that you're not planning on doing the rest of your life, because that certainly is one way of making sure that your brain is working against you, that making sure that your hormones are working against you. And that is not the recipe for success. If you're going to be successful, you have to learn to recruit your brain to change your biology, thereby achieving permanent weight loss. That is what weight loss made easy is all about, folks. That is the process. That is what this program, those are the 3 principles that this program is built upon. You focus on why you eat, not just what you eat. You create non-negotiable and guardrail habits to guarantee your success and prevent you from slipping, to catch yourself when you're slipping. And you don't do anything to lose weight that you're not planning on doing for the rest of your life. These are important principles. And when you apply these, when you set up your program around these 3 very important principles, magic happens, right? You're able to lose the weight and you're able to enjoy the process. And by enjoying the process, that helps you to maintain the results you get because you're able to recruit your brain along. And your brain controls your habits. So you're able to continue to practice those positive habits of your future self. That is all I've got for you today. And I've got a bonus session, right? If you're watching this as a series of videos that I've decided to give you, then there will be a bonus, a 4th video. And that 4th video is going to give you an overview of what the Weight Loss Made Easy program is all about. So if you listen to this as a podcast, go to my website, personalfitness.com, and there's a way to sign up to get this series of videos, and you will be able to get the 4th video to learn more about the Weight Loss Made Easy program, right? It's a group coaching program. So you'll learn more. I'm going to give you an overview of what the program is, what we're going to do, when we're going to meet, all of the details, all of the fun stuff, and why you definitely want to be a part of it if you're interested in long-term weight loss. If you're interested in losing weight for the last time, which means you get to lose it and maintain the results that you get. All right. Again, go to personalfitness.com. and sign up for there's a link there. You sign up for the first video, and that will give you the series of videos, which means you will get the 4th one. And the link to sign up for the program when we open, we're going to be opening sometime in mid-July, between July 10th and 15th, somewhere around there. So keep in mind that this is a group coaching program, and you get to work with me. Dr. Del Miller's here. Right? These are the things I'm teaching you, all the things that I teach my private clients. And you're even going to hear some of the coaching sessions that I have had with some of my private clients. And you'll see that we're going through a lot of these same habits, the non-negotiable habits, the guardrail habits. We're going through a lot of these same habits. So you will see that the coaching process I'm going to take you through is the same coaching process I take my private clients through. So you're getting the same coaching. The difference is it's group coaching and not individual. All right, that's all I've got for you today, guys. You take care of yourself. Remember, join me next time. We'll talk about why it's important to lose weight the way you want to live your life. In other words, don't do anything to lose weight that you're not planning on maintaining for the rest of your life. All right, that's all I've got today. As usual, may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Like I said, go to personalfitness.com. There you'll find a link at the top of the page to sign up for these series of Weight Loss Made Easy videos. And in the last video, I will give you an overview of the program and how to sign up to join us when we get started. So I hope you do that. Go to personalfitness.com. At the top of the page, you will have a link to sign up for these series of Weight Loss Made Easy videos where I'm going over all the different principles, the 3 principles of the Weight Loss Made Easy program. And the final video will go over what the program is all about, an overview of the program, and how we're going to be working together, what you will be learning in the program. Okay? All right, I'll catch you next time. You've been listening to Energize Your Life After 50 with me, your host, Dr. Del Millers. For all the resources mentioned in this episode, you can check the show notes or go to my website at personalfitness.com. There, you can sign up for the free masterclass, the webinar, free webinar, a free health strategy call, and have access to my vault of coaching videos, all for free. So check out the website at personalfitness.com. See you next time.